Another great find. These windows were sitting at the end of the road at someone's home, leaning against a tree for someone to pick up if they wanted them. So that person was me. And so I'm going to take this window and make it into a beautiful window shelf. You will also need some wood, such as these 1x4s I had some extra of, and also these corner braces. All masked up and gloved up to start sanding down this varnish off of the windows. I am sanding off this awful varnish off of the window. I am just sanding it here at first with like a 220 grit sandpaper. Just taking my sander and going over all of the edges and in the middle. Sand it, baby. Flipping it over onto the other side. I don't really need to sand the side, but I just decided I was going to since I already had the sander out, so that's what I'm doing. But this side will be to the wall. And don't forget to sand the edges of the window. Now I'm going to use a more coarse sandpaper, about an 80 grit, putting it on my sander and going over the areas that didn't get sanded well with the other sandpaper. I could have taken off the handle off of the window, but I didn't feel that it was too hard to just sand around it and to stain around it, so I just left it on. Just sanding a bit more on the back side as well. So I've got my aged beryl gray stain here, and I'm going to stain all of the parts that I sanded. There are parts that still need to be done that meet the window, but for now I want to see what this aged beryl gray is going to look like. I'm just using this piece of cloth from an old shirt I had that I cut up and used for staining. Making sure to stain the sides of the window. I think windows are so cool, especially old ones. So I'm really glad that I found these on the side of the road for this project. Gotta get in the groove, no pun intended. I'm going to use this detail attachment to get into the space that I did not do when I sanded the flat edges, as I'm sanding the portion that next to the window and using the smaller attachment on the Black & Decker sander to sand the more challenging area right next to the window pane. Suck up the dust so I can see what I have remaining to do. I save my scrap pieces of sandpaper because I can use them for small areas like this, and I just fold it up, get into the little grooves that are here next to the window pane to get as much of the varnish off and to get the wood exposed as much as possible. And I will alternate with my Black & Decker special attachment. Sand it, baby. I don't know why, but I love saying that. Now to tape the periphery of the window pane next to where I will be staining the borders of the window to keep from getting so much stain on the actual window pane. Going to stain now on this inner portion of the window frame next to the window pane. What is going to be so cool about this window shelf is because it is a window, and if you have a colored wall, a gray or any color, red, blue, it's going to show through the window. So when I have the shelves attached, it's just going to make for a really beautiful background for your accent pieces that you place on the shelves. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind window shelf. So although the backside will not be seen, the caulk was pretty dried out, so now we are taking some bone-colored caulk because that's what we had, and we are just taking and where we removed all the caulk, resealing it with this caulk. I'm not a pro at caulking, but you do want to have a pretty steady stream of the caulk coming out. Dip your finger in some water and then use your finger and go over the caulk to make a nice seam. Because I need to put hangers on the back of this window so that we can actually hang it on the wall, Rob said that we should remove the metal piece, as you see we're doing here. Fixing the dried caulk now to get any excess off and to make straight lines with the caulk so that it looks nice and clean. Scraping it. We are removing the latch so that we can cut the piece of wood off, and then we will reattach it. And cut down the wooden edge there so that it will be more flush to the wall, especially because we are putting shelves on this and things will be sitting on the shelves. And it's cut. Getting excited because it's coming together. Measuring the shelf boards that I stained a different gray called weathered gray, and using my circular saw to cut them to the proper length to be placed on the window. Sanding the recently cut edges. Hi there! Stain is dry, and now we're going to remove the tape. Voila! The window is stained H-Barrel Gray. These are the metal corner braces that I will be using to hold up the shelves. They have holes for the screws, so I'm just taking my pencil and putting a mark right in the center of the hole there so that I know where to take and drill the holes. Just double checking my pencil marks I made earlier. Now to drill the holes in the actual shelf board. These are the screws I will be using for the corner braces. Starting the screw with my hand and then using the drill. Same for the one above. Adhering the one side of the shelf to the window. Standing the window vertically, using my level to put pencil marks where I would like the screws to go so that this shelf will be nice and level. Drilling the screws into the braces. The reason I use these corner braces instead of brackets as they were very inexpensive and I kind of like that industrial look, so they look fine to me. All right, looks good. Tightening them all completely now. I didn't feel like changing the drill bit, so I had the little small screwdriver here, so just doing this by hand. Same for the other side. Okay, changing the drill bit now. Starting the screw with my hand. And zoop, zoop with my drill. Now we have to attach the second shelf here onto the window. That's going to go right up above the handle. Making my mark so that I can drill the holes for the screws. Now putting the screw in with my hand to start, using the drill to finish it. And for the tighter space, I have this special screwdriver that is used for small spaces, and just decided on this one to use that tool. Now to do the same for the other side. Getting there, woohoo! All screwed in. So now I'm going to take and stand it up against the wall here, put my level on and make sure that it looks pretty darn good. Make my pencil marks and then drill the holes to put in the screws. Giving it a good tightening with the drill. Now to put some wall hangers on the back of it so that it can be hung on the wall. Having to use these pliers to hold these small nails to nail it in place with the smaller hammer. These hangers stated that it will hold up to 40 pounds. Who's in there?
Get out of my window. Give me back my dog. Give me back my dog. Give me back my dog.
What a beaut. Okay, let's check out this window shelf. Let's see it on the wall. Look at it, it's just gorgeous. And if you had a colored wall, it would look so pretty with the color behind the window pane. And now we're going to see it staged. I have it staged here with some Poppin glass that I made from an upcycled bottle. And remember, this came from this window, and now it's transformed to this. It is just poppin'. I love it. I'm gonna do more of these. I think it came out fantastic. Another successful PJ's Garage creation. My daughter also mentioned that you could put photos behind the window pane. I just have a card sitting in front of it, but it would give you the idea of what a photo behind it would look like. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.